correct. You know, I'm a 45-year-old space nerd.
Each and every one of us is a crew member here on Spaceship Earth.
The Galactic Guys, John Ennis and Mighty Mike Taylor.
There is a space-age quality to them.
This is the Galactic Coast Power Hour on Vital Draft Radio.
That is right. This is the Galactic Coast Power Hour, and we're coming to you live from the ACU Texas studio on the top floor of the historic Gemini building, just down the street from the home of human spaceflight. My name is John Ennis, and tonight I'm joined by my sister and Bruce Sylvia, Houston Girls Pint Out, Bevanitas.
Yay!
Did I get it right?
Thursday, you did!
Awesome.
Happy Thursday.
I think it's my turn to get it right. You know?
Yeah, you got it.
Happy Thursday, man. Thursday could not come around soon enough.
Absolutely.
I'm ready. I've been thirsty all week.
It's been a long week.
It's been a crazy long week. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, our brother and brew, Mighty Mike Taylor, is still out, which makes us sad, but also means there's a good chance this will be 2 family-friendly shows in a row.
Yeah,
which I think is a record for us.
Not too many F-bombs on the show.
Yeah, I think,
we'll
actually, the over-under on F-bombs, according to Vegas, last time I checked, after I had to input the information that Mike wasn't here, is 3. So, behind the glass in the production room, we've got our buddy Greg, the only 6'7" to ever perform in a Beatles tribute band I know of. How goes it, Greg?
It goes.
It goes. And way to bring the energy.
Always.
He needs a beer. It sounds like he needs a beer.
I gave him a beer, but he probably already opened it.
I had one, but I already opened it.
Yeah, I should have gave you 2. I kind of broke. We're cutting back today. Yeah. We always supplement Greg's wages with beer. And apparently we're going through a rough patch, so we only gave him 1. But before we go any further, I believe in complete transparency. And right now, we're not only broadcasting a radio show, but we're hosting a bottle share.
Yeah, first one ever.
First one ever. Well, first one ever here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm always on the search for good places to do bottle shares. You know, good BYOB places that allow us to, come and try some beers and drink their beer and maybe meet some people.
And this studio does not have a liquor license, so this works, right?
Yay.
Yeah. So right now there are members from Beer Tasting Houston, the region's most active and fastest growing beer-related social media group, in the Redfish Island Amphitheater next door to the studio. And, and that's, we've talked a lot about the impact of social media on the beer scene, how breweries have used social media to help and even hurt their brand, create hype. And of course, we've talked a lot about the style built by Instagram, the New England IPA.
Delicious.
But this week we decided to talk about the craft beer community and the impact social media plays in it and the bottle shares that often result. So joining us, we're going to have potentially a number of members of the Beer Tasting Houston group kind of rotate into the show as we go on. But we're starting off with R.C. Linderman, the founder of Beer Tasting Houston, and no stranger to the show, Jonathan Pena, an admin with Beer Tasting Houston, and the newest member of the Back Pew Brewing team, returns for his second appearance on the show. Hey, fellas, thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you for
this should be a fun show.
We've got some fun things lined up.
We got some good beer on the table, too.
Yeah, we do got some good beer. We got good beer
well,
here.
Some good beer.
There's some good beer, and then there's a questionable one right here next to be compared with the new, better version.
Well, you know what? And, we can jump straight to that.
That's fine.
Something a big kind of big news broke yesterday, I believe.
Yes, sir. Officially yesterday.
Yeah, officially yesterday. I mean, it was
through social media. Back Pew Brewing is officially going to be releasing a Ultra style beer, which will be titled none other than Back Pew Ultra.
Ultra.
So there's been a lot of ups and downs, positives, negatives about it within the community and the industry. But it's exactly what it sounds like, an ultra-style light beer, 4.2%, 95 calories, 2.7 grams of carbs. So it's very much what it's supposed to be, which is a domestic beer. This isn't our version of a blonde-style ale or anything like that. This is a true light beer meant to target a demographic that most craft breweries don't go after.
And it's a pretty big demographic, too, because Michelob Ultra, which, is doing some research for the show, it's been labeled as the most important American beer since Bud Light. It enjoyed a sales growth of 23.6% to $1.6 billion in sales in 2017, which is the most recent numbers I could find. So, I mean, there's quite an audience, for a low-calorie, low carb.
It's Anheuser-Busch's backbone right now.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's been a long time coming for a craft brewery to do something.
I mean, saying Bobby Harrell over there he can't wait to have fun with this one.
Right.
He just said, yeah, it's his way of sticking it to the big guys and showing them, hey,
Yeah.
the little guys can do it. We can do it local. We can do it better, and we can do it for cheaper. And so for a lot of people, I've just been telling them, you want something light? Well, now you've got something light and local to drink. So,
Light, local, low calorie. You know, it's funny. I'll never forget the first time I saw a beer tap list where they had the calories of beers listed next to the name of the beers. Really ruined my evening.
Right?
You know, Mike and I used to joke that every craft beer is
Thank
about
you.
the calorie equivalent of a pork chop. But,
you don't want to know what the
Yeah,
calorie
yeah,
count
I
is.
just- yeah, I'd rather not know.
And these barrel-aged stouts, yeah.
Right, exactly. No, but I think that's going to be huge. I mean, because obviously there's a huge market for it. It's actually a growing segment. You know, as far as, obviously Michelob Ultra has kind of been dominating it. So, now there's a craft local option.
It's
That's
been
huge.
very well received on the island. Too.
And right. I mean, word of mouth's been huge, right?
It's going to be a perfect beer for all those summer goers. You've got a lot of people coming in from out of town, vacationers, tourists, college crowd. You go to the island to party. You want to sit on the beach all day long. You're not going to be slamming back some 8.5 double IPAs all day long. A 4.2 ultra style like this, you can bar hop all day long, sit on the beach, come back out, and it's meant to just be a sessionable beer.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think it'll sell like hotcakes.
Oh, it'll be great.
Especially at those places.
Especially if the staff's behind it. I know when we launched the Sneaky Blonde, and people go into venues that we're at and ordered a Bud Light or something. Now, I wouldn't compare a Bud Light really to Sneaky Blonde. I mean, them two together. But, Sneaky Blonde was a very smooth beer, and it's amazing how many people, the bartenders have been able to get onto the Sneaky Blonde, instead of a Bud Light. And I can just envision people ordering Michelob Ultras and the staff educating them about this other option from a local brewery just on the other side of town.
It's been fun for me to go out there and pitch it to all these different businesses and bars, restaurants, because the scenario I've kind of built up is, okay, you have a customer, you walk into the bar, you're your average, a big beer drinker, and they say, okay, I'll take an Ultra. You say, okay, cool, well, which one? And like, oh, shit, there's two? Yeah, there's one that's mass-produced by Anheuser-Busch, likely in St. Louis, Missouri somewhere, or you've got one brewed on the north side of Houston by a guy named Bobby Harrell. And then you throw in that local term, and they're like, oh, yeah, I'll try local. I love drinking local. And you kind of hook them with that local term.
People are always about, contributing to local, and I think that's kind of where it's going back. It's going back to that hyper-local, you drink where you sleep kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't live in Porter. Obviously, I live in Pearland, but I think that's just amazing. I think that he did that, and what a,
I mean,
a kick in the balls to everybody else too. I mean, it's so. They're going to be in cans or bottles.
It'll start off in draft. It'll be rolling out in kegs in about 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, and then we'll be rolling it into cans probably within a month-ish. No set date on that just yet, but I think it'll start well in cans. It'll give a word of mouth a chance to go around, and then get people an opportunity to kind of start telling people about it. So then when they see the cans in the store, they're excited about it, they recognize it, and they're going to be quick to grab it, ideally.
I kind of see it too. You go into places that sell craft beer, and people come in there and they ask for like Bud Light or those kind of things, and they don't have those. You're kind of touching on that, and bombshell blondes, those kind of things come up, and people get hooked. On craft beer, that's kind of their step into
entry level. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and so a lot of people have been asking me since I started talking about this. They said, "Oh, so it's kind of like a Fireman's Forward Light," and I said, "No, yes, and no, yes. It's a craft brewery's dig at a light beer, but no, because Fireman's Forward Light is a light version of an existing beer, which is that they took their blonde ale and made it lighter. It's like we're going straight ultralight style lager." I was like, so it's like we're niching all the craft on it and just going straight into the domestic territory, into these ice houses and tap houses that have maybe 5 or 6 taps, and the most crafty thing they have is Shiner Bock.
Right.
So I I kind of pitch this to them. I let them know, I let them try it, and I just kind of give them a little spiel about it, and they kind of realize that I'm not just some small craft brewery guy coming in here trying to pitch them our newest IPA.
Right. Because that makes a difference. Because for me, I like IPAs. I'm not usually the person that will drink like a Pilsner or something like a blonde or anything like that in between time. I like my beer's hoppy. I like that hop presence to be there. But a lot of my friends and the people that I'm trying to convert over to craft beer need that stepping stone. They need that approachable, clean, smooth beer that's not going to be in their face, and it's not too pretentious either, right?
Something
That's
reminiscent of what they're used to.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Being approachable and not being so like intimidated. Because let's face it, the craft beer crowd, as general public knows it, kind of snobby people, right?
Yeah, they're like, I'll take an IPA.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of brings you back down to your roots a bit, but still you're not sacrificing flavor.
Well, and I think there's a group of people that they love to have IPAs, they love craft beer, but they're also training. They're also there's certain they're maybe during certain periods of time in their life they're on a mission. They're on a vision quest. They're trying to lose weight. They're working out. So something like an Ultra is like the perfect. And that's why I'm convinced that's why people drink Michelob Ultra. It's not necessarily because they want to drink Michelob.
I hope they're not drinking Michelob Ultra for the taste.
Exactly. They're drink. They always. That's what they always say. Calories. They always talk calories, carbs and calories.
Yeah. This is a couple of friends on the Beer Tasting Houston page that have started talking about it, and they said, finally, this is something that's good for my diet. If people are doing keto diets or that do mixed martial art training.
Right.
I've had some people say, this will be perfect for whenever I'm doing my hardcore training for my next martial arts tournament, or I'm trying to shed a few pounds, but I still need that niche of a crispy beer. This will be the perfect substitution without having to feel the guilt of walk out of an HEB with a 6-pack or a 12-pack of Mich Ultra.
We're looking at you and judging you.
I think what you were talking about too, I think we were talking about on the page the other day, or maybe in the group chat, that you said this one, it pours a little darker, it has a lot more flavor than.
Yeah, so we did it. Yeah, we did
so.
A couple of accounts out throughout town on the South Side territory that I'm helping take over. We did a side by side where we could of a Mich Ultra and a Back Pew Ultra, and I didn't say anything. I just poured them. And I let either the account managers, the bar owners, or some of the employees try it, look at it. So I wanted to hear their raw, pure feedback on it. And one of the first things I said was, "Oh wow, this actually looks like a beer. It doesn't look like melted down seltzer piss water." And when it came to tasting it, they would taste Mich Ultra first, and they didn't really taste like much, kind of what they expected. Mm-hmm. And then they got to ours, and I was like, "Oh man, this actually tastes like something." I can actually taste the ingredients. It doesn't just taste like a watered down Sprite that maybe had some hops sprinkled in it or something.
It's craft.
Yeah, it's a craft brew.
It's got flavor.
Yeah. So what I poured for y'all now was the Mich Ultra. So we'll start with this.
Right. And we decided to start this taste test early on, before we wreck our palates. So we're gonna.
So we'll start with Mich Ultra.
I think this is literally the first Michelob Ultra I may have had.
It smells like any domestic beer that I can just get off the shelf, because it all smells the same. It kind of tastes the same. It works for people that probably,
there's a demographic for it, and it works well for them.
You don't need all of that, yeah.
Some of us in here, it's not going to be our thing.
You know what it tastes like to me is when I wash my tasting glass out.
When you're out of share, you got to wash it out.
Yeah,
that's like that mixed water.
Yeah, not a bad beer. Obviously it sells, but it's
$1.6 billion.
So the numbers speak for themselves on that.
For sure.
All right, now we're going to the Back Pew Ultra.
So when you look at them side by side with the cups, you can already see the difference. You can see the difference.
Totally. And I went cheap. I didn't grab the clear cups today, so not totally clear at least. Yeah, you can totally tell the difference.
I like the smell better already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It smells like real grain, like.
Yeah,
like
say
wort,
there's
right
according to Bobby, he said there's no rice, no corn in it. It's all Pilsner malt.
Really?
Did he say was it more difficult or less difficult?
He said it's
easiest
super.
beer?
He said it's probably one of the hardest beers he's ever had to make.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, dialing it in. He said, I couldn't begin to tell you about it, and so I don't want to mislead you. But he did say earlier. He said it's probably one of the hardest things that he's had the task of dialing in.
I would actually drink that.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's tasty.
You don't got to say that because I'm here.
No, you know me better than that already.
Bobby,
I would
if you're
tell you straight
listening,
up.
well done, man. This is a great beer.
That's a sharp guy, though, man. I mean, he's got a PhD in chemistry. He's got an MBA. Yeah, I mean, that's...
anytime I talk to him, this man's fired up
right.
about something. I don't know who pissed him off when he was
right. That's what I said, man. He's full of fire.
He wants to
man,
take on everybody.
Definitely the most outspoken guest I think we've ever had of the brewery scene, or one of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get him going, and he's
he
like a freight train. He
Yeah.
just doesn't stop. But yeah, no, he's excited to finally get this out